Today, we're making a simple skillet bread. It's a really wonderful traditional recipe that shows you don't even need an oven to bake fresh, beautiful bread right in your own kitchen. It's a very forgiving recipe, so it's absolutely perfect if you're trying this for the first time. And our goal is pretty simple: a loaf that's incredibly soft on the inside with a lovely, lightly golden top. Okay, first things first, let's gather up our ingredients. You're going to need 2 cups of flour, a teaspoon of yeast, a teaspoon of sugar, and a teaspoon of salt. Then you'll need 3/4 of a cup of warm water and 1 tablespoon of oil. That's it. And for your equipment, you just need a mixing bowl and a skillet that has a lid. See? No special tools required.
All right, let's get started on the dough. This is the heart of our bread.
Go ahead and combine all of those ingredients in your bowl. Just give them a good mix until they form a rough, kind of shaggy dough. It doesn't have to look pretty at this point. Now, before we start kneading, here's a really important tip. Your dough might feel a little sticky, but try to resist adding a lot of extra flour. That's a common mistake, and it'll just make your bread dry in the end. Okay, now we're going to knead the dough for about 5 minutes. This step is what develops the gluten, and that's what gives us that soft, chewy texture we're looking for. After those 5 minutes, you'll feel a real difference. The dough should be smooth and elastic. If you press it gently with your finger, it should spring back slowly. That's how you know it's ready. With our dough ready, it's time for the first rise. Now this part just takes a little bit of patience. Just put the dough back into the bowl and cover it. This keeps it warm and moist, which is the perfect environment for the yeast to get to work. We're going to let it rest for 1 hour. During this time, the yeast will do its magic and cause the dough to expand. So, after an hour has passed, this is what you're looking for. The dough should have doubled in size. That's the sign that your yeast is active, and the first rise was a success.
Okay, our dough has risen beautifully. Now for the final step, cooking it right on the stovetop.
First, gently press down on the dough to release some of the air. Then just flatten it into a disc that's about the size of your skillet. You want to be gentle here so you don't lose all that lovely airiness. And here's another really crucial tip, this time about the heat. If your pan is too hot, the outside is going to burn before the inside has a chance to cook. This is probably the most common mistake when baking on a stovetop. So the key is to cook it in a covered skillet over low heat. Keeping it low and covered traps the steam and lets the bread cook through evenly. You're going to cook the first side for about 7 to 8 minutes. The slow, steady heat is what makes sure the center gets cooked perfectly. After about 8 minutes, carefully flip the bread over. You should see a nice light golden brown color. Now cover it again and cook the other side for another 7 to 8 minutes. And that's it. Our bread is cooked. Let's take a look at the finished result. So the big question is, how do you know for sure that it's cooked all the way through? When you slice it open, take a look at the center. It should be soft, maybe a little steamy, but it's fully set. It isn't sticky or doughy at all. This is correct. And there you have it. Your simple skillet bread is now ready.